It was a bumpy road. We had the Kendrick Greens of the world, man. We had the Mason Coles of the world, man. We had, often Dan Moores of the world, man. But Dan Moore, we'll talk about him in a second. He's the final boss. He is a Steeler legend, and he is still on the team and sometimes still starting. And so, Dan Moore, he's a part of that, but like somehow, some way, this dude just keeps surviving, man. But yeah, like we've had this bad offensive line, but now this year, with the additions, with the Zach Frazier, who's getting more first team reps today, with the Troy Fatanu, who is hurt, but like, it shouldn't be too serious. He should be able to come back and play. Dan Moore, though, he is a hard hurdle to get over, man. Dan Moore is going to fuck around and start 3 games this year, probably the first 3 or 4 games. He's going to do that. You're going to need absolute dog work in the fucking trenches, man, with the offensive line against some of these defensive lines, man. We're going to need it. Like big Cleveland Brown, big Myles Garrett, man. He's so spooky, defensive player of the year. Like he is somebody in our division. Like we gotta make sure we account for him. Apparently, he's this good, and so like Dan Moore locked him up. By the way, that guy Myles Garrett, Dan Moore, who we just talked about, Dan Moore had him in prison one time, but they don't want to talk about that.